What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Millzy, my hometown commander. We're back for another episode of Hometown Opens, the show where I open up some product for you. And today we're taking a look at the Lost Caverns of Ixalan gift bundle gift edition. This is actually my first time opening up this product for Lost Caverns of Ixalan, and actually getting my first collector booster of Lost Caverns of Ixalan. I've opened this release, so I hope you guys enjoy it. The gift edition bundle is a little bit different than the regular bundle in that you get some slightly different things, different dice. We still get the Jurassic Park card and the Hit the Motherload promo, but again, we do get that collector booster. And one of the other reasons that I did want to get this product is that instead of just getting foil and non-foil regular basic lands, the gift edition does actually come with 20 of the full art basics, which makes me really happy because I do really like these basics, and I hope they continue to do this in the future with the gift edition bundles to get people more of those. So we do already start off with a few of those, but let's take a look and see which of our Jurassic cards we get. Of course, this bundle will include the Hit the Motherload promo. Excited to put this one in a deck, but let's see. We get Owen Grady, Raptor Trainer. An interesting card, of course, paired with blue as a partner in that deck. And then we get our foil basic lands. We'll set these guys off to the side. We'll look at our packs, but first we have our pretty orange dice. Of course, the Lost Caverns of Ixalan symbol there. I like this one. You can kind of see some little flecks inside the dice, which is pretty cool. I've seen some jokes online that people thought maybe they should put a bug in there or something like that, which would have been kind of cool. But hey, I do love the look of those dice, and they're my favorite go-to dice when it comes to playing at the table. But we'll open our 8 set boosters first, and then we'll get into that collector booster. Last, I'm hoping to pull, of course, some great Jurassic Park cards or just other things to use either for decks or to, of course, to sell back promo openings for you. I believe that's treasure map. It is. No, sorry, it's just the map token there for the art cards. Let me know, do you guys collect art cards? I do. I think it's a ton of fun. They're a fun little thing to collect, and I love just looking at the art. You know, I think the one thing that we don't do enough sometimes with Magic is appreciate the art that Wizards gives us in all of these sets. And so I like the art cards because they allow us to do that. So I've tried to start collecting them ever since they started, and just keep them in binders. If you're interested in seeing my art card collection, just let me know. I'd love to show that off. Curator of Sun's Creation is one of our next uncommons, and the Sunborn Signpost uncommon there. Rampaging Ceratops. Subterranean Schooner is seeing a lot of play right now. Kind of a cool card. Whatever the creature is that crews it gets to explore, which is a pretty cool effect, especially in Standard where you're trying to go pretty fast. And of course, with all the creatures that care about exploring. There we go. Card I've enjoyed to play so far in Commander, Wave Goodbye. Card's been cool. I've got to cast that at least once so far. We're going to foil planes there. So of course, set boosters, all your commons and uncommons will be linked somehow, so these guys are linked there by their exploring. Coatzel Scavenger, and then Saley's Lattice for our uncommons. We see Braided Net. Not my favorite of the craft cards, but kind of interesting. Iron Paw Aspirant as our foil, and then a flip card. I don't know, I'm always kind of a little bit aggravated sometimes when you, of course, in previous sets that didn't have those flip cards, you'd think that if you saw back for that card, it was a list card. But they can be helpful, especially if you're playing with less opaque sleeves or things like that, where you need to hide a double face card. We have the white O'Hare, the one that triples up tokens, creature tokens there. Duskro's Reliquary is a card I'm intrigued to see if it's going to see some Commander play. I feel like it could be pretty cool. Let me know what are the commons and uncommons you're most excited to play in your Commander decks. As I still like to look sometimes. You never quite know when a common or an uncommon is going to make what you want from your deck. And we see a Restless Anchorage, the white-blue Restless land. Of course, the previous 5 being in Wilds of Eldraine and the last 5 being here. I think these are cool lands. Obviously, they're not as high up on, I think, the power scale as most people want their dual lands to be. But I do think some of these are still interesting. And, of course, I think if you're playing a bird deck, this one's very worth it. There we go. Sovereign Akanekahau. our new cat, legendary creature. Of course, caring about when your creatures attack, if their power is greater than their base power, they get tokens equal to the counters equal to the difference. This card's kind of interesting, and I have a brew for this one going up the channel very soon after you see this, if it's not up already. Fungus token. I love seeing some new cat cards. Of course, cats are a tribe that I've always kind of had interest in, and it's cool to see them get a new commander. If not, if you're someone like me, I'm definitely going to try it out in my Jetmir deck, a deck that cares a lot about boosting up your creatures. We get another Plains there. Pottery Pirate, Buried Treasure. Sunfire Torch was a ton of fun to play with in Draft. I'm just not sure where it's going to see play outside of that. Mischievous Puff. Market Known. There we go. Bartolome El Presidio. Going to see a lot of play in those new Vampire decks. If not, I'm sure this will see a play in a lot of Aristocrat decks for its ability to just have a free sack outlet that grows this creature. Sanguine Evangelist, kind of interesting card. And we see a Restless Reef foil. That's pretty cool. We get a Jurassic Park treasure, but Restless Reef, another one of the Restless lands. This one black-blue, turning into a shark creature with Death Touch. Kind of cool because the green-white one turns into a llama, so just kind of fun to see them turn into random things. What do you guys think of the caves? They're an interesting little land cycle. I think they're going to be important in Descend decks or things that care about lands going to the graveyard. Just not sure they're going to see play otherwise. Loved seeing Chart, of course, get a reprint. This was a card that, of course, was very well played in the original Ixalan block, so I'm happy to see it back get reprinted in this set, especially with that pretty new art. Caslim's Stone Tree, and we have Roaming Throne. What a great pill. This one definitely helps go for paying for the box, of course, and going to go right into a deck. Roaming Throne is going to be a very well played card in a lot of the Kindred or Tribal strategies that you see running around. I'm going to have to decide which one this is going to go into, but doubling the triggered ability of any creature you control of the chosen type is very good for a lot of decks. Foil Sunshot Militia, and a Vampire token. Roaming Throne is a card that I'm expecting to either rise in value or keep its value for a while, especially with the amount of, like I said, Kindred and Tribal decks we have in Commander. And it's a card, especially if your tribe cares a lot about those triggered abilities. I think the deck that I have, that I'm the most excited, of course, to put Roaming Throne in is my Miram Dragons deck, of course, doubling those triggers up. But I think there's a lot of tribes that really are happy about that. I did get some fun using it at a most recent Commander night with the new Merfolk Precon and getting double Explore triggers, which is pretty darn cool. We have Throne of the Grim Captain. It flips over into the Grim Captain. Kind of interesting. What do you guys think of Craft? It's a mechanic I think has a lot of upside. I hope it's something they do again in the future and that it's not just a one-time thing. I like it because it takes an artifact that maybe, you know, is a little bit better in the early games and turns it into something that may be better in the late game, which I think is an important thing. It's an important thing to keep in, you know, some cards. All Plains today in our full art land slots. But I like that. I think that's important. There's a couple interesting craft cards I'm looking for in some of my decks that care about artifacts. The white and the blue ones look kind of interesting. I'm going to try to see if they see any Commander play. Waterlogged Hulk. And there we go, Polani's Hatcher, a new dinosaur, just like Regisar Alpha, giving all other dinos haste, which is a pretty great ability for a lot of those dino decks. But then it makes 2 eggs when it comes in, and each turn you can sack an egg to make a 3/3. The kind of cool part about that ability is this is going to pair really well with Atla Polani, of course, I imagine it's named after. So that's a cool that it not only is a great new dino for those dino decks, but it's going to pair really well with the classic dino commander. Hotfoot Gnome and another flip card. We're on to our last set booster. Set boosters are fun. Sometimes you have a chance at multiple rares. Sometimes you have a chance at cool things. There's a signed art card for Bloodletter of Aclazotz. But mainly I love the bundles because they're some of the best value you can get if you're just going to buy packs. You get and here in the regular bundle you would still get the guaranteed Hit the Motherlode and the Jurassic Park card. Here we just get the same plus those full art basic lands. And the full art basic lands, whether they're expensive now or not, will eventually be expensive. There are things that people really after. And oh, that's a hit I definitely wanted. Savage Order. Very happy to pull this card. This is looking to go in multiple decks. This is what it costs to cast this spell. You sacrifice creature power 4 or greater and search your library for a dino, put it onto the battlefield, and it gains indestructible. This is a really cool card for 2 reasons. One, it can go get something like the new Galta to put every creature from your hand on the battlefield. But this is a really cool combo with Apex Altusor. giving it indestructible and letting it fight every other creature on the battlefield and be a one-sided board wipe for you, hopefully. This is a really fun card. It's priced very well. It's priced expensively because, of course, it's based on Natural Order, a green card that's really great in Commander for getting the green creatures you need out of your deck. So I'm very excited to pull one of those. And we have a Kellen Daring Traveler, for Cave Diver, and then a copy. So no list cards in that one, which is kind of interesting. I do believe the list cards are what, 1 in 8 or 1 in 10, I think. So there was a chance we could not get them. But let's jump into our collector booster. Like I said, I've yet to open a collector booster for Lost Caverns of Ixalan. So let's see what fun we can get. We should start off with a couple commons. Getting into, I believe, 3 uncommons here. Taker Dreadnought, Contested Game, and Self-Reflection. I'm intrigued to see if Self-Reflection sees any play at all. 6 mana to make a token, or copy a creature, and then flashback. I doubt it because it doesn't make it unlegendary, right? Things like Renaissance, Vial Duplication, and cards like that make them non-legendary, of course, for people that are looking to cast their, to copy their commander. Oh, we got a foil island. We finally had our first non-planes of the box. We have a foil showcase frame of Oakenbach. This card's kind of interesting. I'm intrigued to see if anybody makes a deck with this, having that descend ability to get it back. We see a foil Restless Vents, so we've got the red-black Restless Land, adding to our other 2 Restless Lands we've seen so far. Ooh, Growing Rights of Itlamog, extended art. Of course, this is a reprint from the original Ixalan block. On the front side, you can look at the top 4 and get a creature at the beginning of your end step. If you have 4 more creatures, you turn it over and it turns into basically a copy of Gaia's Cradle, having either a green or green for each creature control. I've never really liked this card, but I love they reprinted it with all of the new fungi. The Myca Tyrant's a card that definitely interested me. I might try to test it eventually to see if maybe that's kind of a deck I'd want to build, but I do like the look of that. Bronzebeak Forgers is our commander card. I got to check this card out the other night in a game, but this card's kind of interesting when it comes in. For each opponent, exile up to 1 target non-land permanent until Bronzebeak Forgers leave the battlefield. So it kind of has that Grasp of Fate style ability. And then for X and a white, you can put a target card exiled with it into the graveyard to gain X life, which is kind of interesting. If you think someone's going to try to take this out to get it back, you can put it into the graveyard that way. Not a bad dino, 3/4 for 4, but that ability makes it pretty worth it. And if you're playing this in any sort of deck that can double up those ETBs, I think this card gets a lot better. We have Amalia Benavides Aguirre, the new Explore life game payoff. Whenever you gain life, it explores, and then if its power is exactly 20, you destroy all other creatures. This is kind of a fun card. I expect this to see some play in some of those Aristocrat style decks to some avail. And we see Indoraptor, the perfect hybrid. This is our first, I do believe, our first Jund dinosaur commander. Bloodthirst X, whenever it enters the battlefield, we put X +1/+1 counters, where X is the number of damage you've dealt to your opponents this turn. It has Menace, and it brings in Rage back. Whenever it's dealt damage, choose an opponent at random. It deals damage equal to its power to that player unless they sack a non-token creature. I expect this to see some play. Of course, the Enrage mechanic was very popular the last time we were on Ixalan, and there's some pretty great Enraged dinosaurs. Not only that, but we have some other dinosaurs like Marauding Raptor and things like that that just pay off Enrage for all dinosaurs. So I'd be intrigued to see this. I didn't get a chance to brew it this time around on Lost Caverns of Ixalan, but if you're interested, I would be interested in brewing that in the future. And we have a Wall of the Forgotten, a foil sorcery here. Descend to 8, so we choose 1. If there's 8 or more permanents in our graveyard, we can choose 1 or more instead. Turn target non-land permanent to owner's hand. Opponent discards a card to look at the top 3 and put 1 in their hand. The rest to our graveyard. I expect this to probably get played more than anything in any deck that cares about graveyards or milling things. This could be kind of interesting, and I don't know, maybe something like Muldrotha or something like that, where you're trying to seed cards into your graveyard, and it could be something to cast right every turn off of Muldrotha. It could be kind of interesting. Let me know what you guys think of a Wall of the Forgotten down in the comments. But that is my gift bundle opening. I think we did pretty great. Of course, the Savage Order goes a long way, a card I was very excited to get at some point and to pull. Polani's Hatcher is a great card as well. Love seeing new dinosaur design space in the Indoraptor and Owen in blue being Teamer dinosaurs. If you're interested in that deck, that is up on the channel. But let me know what you think of the opening. What did you think of the pulls? And let me know what cards you have been most excited to pull in Lost Caverns of Ixalan. And I will catch you guys next time.